What's going on, all my fellow hunters? We have some more very exciting news about Monster Hunter Wilds, and I should say that Christmas came early because we are getting an official open beta test. Now, regarding this open beta test, there is an absolute ton of information, so I want to make sure that I'm able to cover all of it. That way we're all on the same page and none of us miss any of the important details. Let's begin. First of all, being the reason behind the test, that is to allow as many players as possible to experience a small portion of Monster Hunter Wilds and also be able to collect data and see what needs to be improved or what is already good. Now, something that is very important to note is the full release of Monster Hunter Wilds is still in development, so this open beta may have things in it that may not completely translate to the full release. So now, with that being said, I'm very curious what this is actually referring to and just how different things could potentially be on release day. Now, the first really big thing about this open beta test is the character creator. It says the character creation is available in the open beta test with the full suite of features that will be available in the full version. During the open beta test period, you'll also be able to remake your character as many times as you like. You can also carry over your character creation data into the full version, so use this chance to design your perfect hunter and palico. Next up is the story trial. The story trial will allow you to experience the opening cutscene and play through the Chotacabra hunt with basic tutorials. It will allow us to get a feel for the weapon mechanics and experience the seamless transitions from cutscene into gameplay, which is actually something that I'm very excited about. And lastly, the main thing is the Doshiguma hunt. The goal in this is to defeat the alpha of the Doshiguma pack. It also says explore the vast locale on your Psycret and switch between two different weapon types on the fly as you experience the latest in hunting action. Now, because we're able to explore this area on top of also fighting the alpha of the Doshiguma pack, I'm honestly wondering just how much we can explore and potentially what we may find. Possibly endemic life that we can gain lore notes on, materials and herbs we can gather. So now this is going to be something that I will be exploring heavily on my streams, and if you want to be a part of those streams and be a part of our hunting party, I will be hunting with pretty much anybody and everybody, and I will be streaming from the 31st, the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd, the entirety of the open beta weekend. Now, it does also say that during either of these quests, during this open beta, we will be able to use the SOS flare, and we will either be able to link up with other players or the NPC support hunters. And the thing that I am the most excited for when it comes to this open beta is the fact that it will be completely cross-play. Meaning if you're playing on Steam, Xbox Series S or X, or the PS5, and you have other friends on those other platforms, then you will be able to link up with them and hunt monsters with them. Now, something really interesting about this is if you are a PS5 player and you have PlayStation Plus, you will be able to play earlier than everybody else. The PlayStation Plus early access of this open beta will run from Monday, October 28th at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and this will go almost until the beginning of the open beta for everybody else, meaning Wednesday, October 30th at 7:59 p.m. Pacific. Now, if you are a PlayStation player and you do not have a PlayStation Plus subscription, then you will not be able to play early, but you will be able to play with everybody else on the 31st, also starting at 8 p.m. Pacific. And then, of course, this will run until Sunday, November 3rd at 6:59 p.m. Pacific. Now, of course, all of these starting times and whatnot are possibly subject to change, so take these with a grain of salt. Now, when it comes to actually getting into this open beta, it says that we must be within the age range specified by the game's rating based on area of residence, and then you must have access to an environment that is capable of participating in the test. Now, in order to actually download this open beta, depending on the platform that you're on, there is a link to do this through the official Monster Hunter Wilds website, which I will have linked in the description down below. But when it comes to the PlayStation Plus subscribers only, they will be able to pre-download the game on Sunday, October 27th, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific. And then everybody else for the main open beta will be able to preload the game on Wednesday, October 30th, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific. Also, it is expected that this open beta will be roughly 29 gigabytes, so you'll want to make sure that you have that space ready to go. And when it comes to the Steam version, the recommended specs, since the resolution is 1080p and 60 frames, it recommends an Intel Core i5-11600K or an Intel Core i5-12400, an AMD Ryzen 5 3600X, or an AMD Ryzen 5 5500. You'll want 16 gigabytes of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super Super, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060, or an AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT. And you'll want a minimum of 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Now it says that the storage is 140 gigabytes, which I am assuming this will be the entirety of the game, but it is saying that a SSD is required. And that is because the game is expected to run at 1080p, upscaled with 60 FPS under the medium graphics settings. Now also, if you're playing on PC and you have an AMD graphics card, it is recommended that you have the most recent driver update installed. But that's not all. We will also get some bonuses for participating in this. There is a really cute little plushie pendant that we'll be able to get, but also we will be able to get an item pack. This will be including 10 mega potions, 5 rations, 5 life powder, 2 max potions, 2 herbal medicines, 2 nullberries, and 5 armor spheres. Now, in order to claim these bonuses in the full version of the game, we of course have to make sure that we are playing on the same platform account that we did in the open beta, and then of course we have to have an internet connection in order to actually receive them. It says that the open beta test bonuses will be granted to accounts whose character data was created during the open beta test, but if you have downloaded the open beta test game software but you did not create character data, you will not qualify for the bonuses. And then of course also there's the possibility that they may be made available at a later date. Now, when it comes to transferring your character data to the full version of the game, you of course must be connected to the internet in order to do this, but the character data that you created in the open beta test will be saved on the server, and then it will be available when you are creating your character in the full version of the game. And now, of course, only the character data from the character creation can be transferred. No other data will carry over. And then also, of course, they do have to tell us that there is a possibility that due to unexpected behavior and malfunctions, maybe character data may not transfer. Now, it is also very important to note that we have been given a point of caution, and that is the fact that the open beta test period is subject to change or full cancellation without any prior notice. Now, also, if you would like some extra rewards, there is a survey request that you can do. Your feedback will be used to further improve the products of Monster Hunter Wilds and the services in the future. Now, the survey period will be open from Tuesday, October 29th to Friday, November 8th at 1 p.m. JST, and a Capcom ID account, which is free to register, is required to answer the survey. And if you do go through with the survey, you will get these cool survey bonus icons. Now, with all that said for the open beta, let's also talk about the new monsters that we saw in the newest trailer. The first one being the Rompopolo. The Rompopolo is a bulbous brute wyvern found lurking in areas of deep oil silt within the oil well basin. It has the ability to inject gas from the tip of its tail into the surrounding oil slit for explosive results. We were also introduced to the Oborrok. This monster is a fiery and agile fanged beast that can ignite the shell on its back through friction, taking the heat of battle to the next level of intensity. And honestly, this guy really reminds me of the Rajang, so we'll see how that goes because I'm still a little traumatized. Stop! Don't kill me! And then also we got a tease of the Black Flame. It is a mysterious monster that casts a sinister shadow over the people of Azuz. So with all that said, I am unbelievably excited to get into this open beta for myself and be able to set up hunts with as many of you guys as possible. And of course, again, I will be streaming every day that it is available. So if you'd like to be a part of the hunts, watch the streams, and vibe out with the community, smack the subscribe button so you get notified when I am live on those days. I also will be covering Monster Hunter Wilds a ton with guides, builds, breakdowns, and all kinds of stuff, especially when the full game releases. And now, what are your thoughts? Will you be playing during the open beta test? Are you going to wait until full release? If you will be playing during the open beta weekend, what 2 weapons are you going to be using the most? And do you already have a hunting party selected? Let me know all the good stuff in the comment section down below, and your time is incredibly valuable, so thank you very much for taking some of it to watch me explain this, and I hope I was able to give you some good information to prepare you for the open beta test of Monster Hunter Wilds. We may end up running into each other on our secrets running around during this open beta test, so I look forward to it, and have an awesome rest of your day, hunters.